Those rights are being taken for a ride by a minority of ultra-Orthodox Jews in Israel. Female followers are often forced to sit at the back of buses in their own specially segregated section. Paula Slier reports now from Jerusalem.
Avital Feldman no longer catches buses in Jerusalem. What would be a straightforward means of transport in other parts of the world is a rather trickier trip here. Orthodox Jewish customs mean she's often ordered to sit at the back with the women and not in the front with the men.
So I would get on the bus, sit in front, and then some guy would come and just tell me, go to the back. Wouldn't even ask, he would tell me, you have to go to the back. And I would say, why should I go to the back? And I would say, your rabbis have no authority on me, I don't believe in them, I'm staying here. And they would start yelling at some point.
Tensions between religious and secular Jews have been simmering for years. They're now starting to boil over. 1/5 of Jerusalemites are ultra-religious and now want separate buses with separate entrances for men and women.
Jewish law says men and women cannot sit together. When a religious man passes a woman on the street, he can cross over to the other side. But in a bus where people sit very close together, he has nowhere to go. If suddenly the bus breaks and a man touches a woman, it's forbidden.
But most Israelis are secular and say the ultra-religious want to transform Jerusalem into a Jewish version of Tehran. They complain it's their tax money that runs these buses, and the religious community already has 9 of them. What's more, it's humiliating and sexist for women.
This is the way the world is. If you find it difficult to be with women who are near you or touching you even, or dressed in a way that you're not accustomed to, you have to keep your distance and it's your problem. And if ultimately you feel you can't deal with the situation of being close to women who are strange to you, you should walk. And that was, as I said, this is a rabbi's decision.
Esther Segal is a religious woman who hosts her own television show and teaches Judaism. She says one solution could be to run religious buses only in religious areas.
The rabbis are divided. Some say it's unavoidable for a man who is forced to share a bus with a woman not to think about her, whereas he should instead be thinking about God. Other rabbis are more modern and say it's just a bus ride, nothing more.
But it's a bumpy ride the religious face, if this sample of views on the streets are anything to go by.
I think it's much noise about nothing. These are a very small part of the people, and they're very few. And they make so much noise that they smear everybody.
I don't think that it's necessary to separate the sexes on a bus. They're only going where they have to go on public transport.
I think it's ridiculous. I thought we were living in the 21st century, and if they can't control themselves getting on a bus, they shouldn't be out in the public anyway.
Not so long ago, an old woman was allegedly beaten up when she said she could not walk to the back of the bus.
We decided to check things out for ourselves, so I'm about to get onto one of these religious buses and see what happens.
But as you see, when I ask this religious man if I can sit down next to him, he gets up and walks away. Old religious customs and the modern world, it seems, don't always mix, like men and women on the buses on the streets of Jerusalem. Paula Slier, RT, Jerusalem.